Oh, okay.
Yeah.
JasperCasteel?
Yeah.
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 So he was, this is a patented mining claim, and he was the miner that held the claim before it was
Well,
patented.
there's more to it than that.
There's always more, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's more? Who had the... Castile was in the late 1800s, right?
Yeah, right about the turn of the century, actually. Pretty close. Am I supposed to
Yeah, just talk.
No.
assume a reasonably intelligent expression and
No, you don't have to pose at all, Bill.
Oh.
You're always your expression is always reasonably intelligent.
Now, were the Chinese miners in here at one time? Earlier?
no,
No.
later.
Later. Okay.
Well, sort of contemporaneous.
So,
who do we know were the first people here on this property?
Well, if you believe Parks and Swartley, which is the source for the article in the Oregon State publication, Castile was the first guy that tied up the whole creek. And I think their article's a little bit in error because he supposedly had golly. Had a whole section tied up in patent, including part of section 22, which is what we're in now.
right.
But however, this didn't evidently wasn't really a part of his patented package. But he did have this under claim, and his claims probably started up somewhere in the vicinity of property that's now called Jew Gulch, and came down, and they probably terminated just south of this place. He was what you might call a local character, I guess. Not too trustworthy, and some shady dealings along the line somewhere. And he supposedly put a whole slug of money into getting ready to mine up here. Mine in a big way. He put in ditches, and I imagine that ditch that goes along the top edge of that field is probably, he probably put that in. Although the only mining that was done out of that was some ground sluicing. He didn't actually have any machinery giants set up. And where the cabin now stands, this was his. He had a stable in here because they used quite a few horses. So when we built the cabin, the first step was to clear away the remains of the old stable and burn it, get rid of it. But Castile came to a rather, I guess you might call it tragic end. As part of his fundraising effort, he took a bunch of money from a young fellow that came in from back east, and he hoped to run this young fellow off before they got the things going. So he accused him of misbehaving with his daughter, which he hadn't done. And he leaned on this young guy pretty heavily, preyed on the young guy's mind, and one night he got up and took his rifle and blew Castile's head off, and that supposedly took place down under where those old apple trees are. And this is the basis for a spook story that I used to tell the kids.
Did he have his cabin under the apple trees?
His cabin was somewhere between those apple trees and the creek. We're never have been too sure where it was, as it's pretty well completely gone.
And so the young guy just kind of found him under there, and I mean,
You really can't tell.
yeah, that's funny. And so that would have been around 1900. I mean, around the turn
Yeah.
of the century.
I could probably run that down closer.
Really?
Somewhere we have an article on it. Old article.
Well, okay, this young fellow, his name was Overman, I think, and we have an article somewhere. I looked for it before we came up here. I couldn't find it.
His name was Oberlin.
Overman or Oberman, one
Yeah.
of the two.
Right.
He was taken into Douglas County and courthouse and duly tried and sentenced to the penitentiary in Salem. But apparently enough people thought that probably Casteel got what he deserved, and they turned him loose after about 2 years. I don't know with a pat on the back or what.
Wonder what happened to the daughter.
But when we came up here quite frequently when we were in Spokane, and we had Doug and Susan at that time. And they wanted us to sleep outside in the bed of the pickup. We had a canopy, a doghouse on the pickup. But before they went to bed, it was really a dark night. No moon, just dark as a cat down in here. And there was a big old hoot owl over on the side of the hill going hoo, 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 hoo. Real spooky. So I told them, if you guys want to see something interesting, you might just watch down there somewhere in the vicinity of those old apple trees. And if you see something stumbling around down there like it's lost, that's old Casteel. He's looking for his head. And they made me back the pickup right up against the door. Oh well.
That's the story I remember. I don't think I've ever heard the one about how he really actually died.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great story, though. I mean.